Welcome to Pleasantville, New Jersey, population 19,000. On the surface, it appears like any small American town, but Pleasantville has a serious drug problem. Not using them, suing them. It's part of Atlantic County, #1 in the U.S. for suits against pharmaceutical companies. That would make sense if most pharmaceutical companies were based here, but they're not. We set out to find some plaintiffs and see what this is all about.
Have you ever sued anybody? No?
Did they ever sue anyone?
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't never sued nobody.
Nah, I ain't never sued nobody.
Never?
Nah, I never sued nobody.
So we couldn't find any plaintiffs here, and the defendants aren't local either. What's going on?
Litigation tourism is driven by the fact that in some parts of the country you can file a lawsuit and the defendant doesn't live there, the plaintiff doesn't live there, the defendant doesn't have a business operation there, never has, the injury didn't take place there, but you can still file a lawsuit there, as crazy as that sounds.
The jurisdiction is apple-picked simply because the plaintiffs believe, the lawyers believe, they'll get a favorable result. That's not equal justice under law.
Juries from high-poverty counties, they kind of like to get the ban. They kind of like to assess large awards against big corporations. And if you can combine that with elected judges, well, that's bingo. That's your real chance to take home the big bucks.
So plaintiffs' lawyers are dragging out-of-state defendants to plaintiff-friendly jurisdictions. Like a corrupt casino, they're rigging the game in their favor, undermining the intention of fairness in our tort system and costing us all millions of dollars. And the judges aren't putting a stop to it, but we'll come back to that. We wanted to hear what the other side has to say, so we found a plaintiff's lawyer in one of America's worst judicial hellholes, South Florida.
I used to be able to sue the Seaboard Airline Railroad any place I wanted to where they had a railroad station. And therefore, I would go to the place that likely the jury would give you the most money. Well, the law was changed. Everybody recognized that was unfair. I now have to sue them where the accident happened or at their home place of business. Those are my two choices.
That'd be great if it was that simple. But some personal injury lawyers have still found ways to game the system.
If you were to sue a pharmaceutical company, you would always also sue the local pharmacy where you where you got your prescription filled.
My name is Hilda Bankston. I live in Fayette, Mississippi. I met my husband while I was in the Marine Corps. When we got married, we fulfilled our lifetime dream of buying and operating a pharmacy.
In one classic example in Jefferson County, Mississippi, the pharmacy in that county was sued something like 1,000 times. Nobody ever wanted anything from the pharmacy. They didn't have any money. They only sued the pharmacy in order to keep the case in the local court and stop it from going to federal court. They were really after the money from the big pharmaceutical corporation.
3 weeks after being named in the first lawsuit, my husband of 35 years, who was 58 years old and in good health, died of a massive heart attack.
What happened to the Bankstons is clearly not equal justice under law. So why are judges allowing this?
Who gives money to a judge's re-election campaign? Well, it's quite often it's the plaintiff's lawyers. It's the lawyers who see this judge over and over and over again. So they become pretty friendly with some of these elected judges.
How is it the fact that the lawyer might decide this man is better than this man, and I'm therefore going to help him get elected? How is that destructive of the system?
In states which elect their judges, awards against out-of-state corporations are twice as high on average as states which appoint their judges.
One judge said, as was on the Supreme Court of West Virginia, if I have to choose between somebody who gives me money and elects me and some out-of-state corporation, it doesn't take me long to make that decision. So, unfortunately, the system gets corrupted by cash, and hellholes are often made because of close connection between a court and plaintiff's lawyers who give to the very judge for whom they practiced before.
No small business you have to endure the nightmare I have experienced. I'm not a lawyer, but I know something is wrong with our legal system when innocent bystanders are abused in the way I was.